a very important phase of any copywriting project is obtaining the correct information from the client. And I've been using this client questionnaire now for many years, going on to 15 years now. And I've never really seen anyone who have done explanation of the client questionnaire and why the information that is asked for is so important. So I just wanted to look at the relationship between the questions that are asked for on the client's questionnaire and the final output, which is the sales letter. So having the client to fill out this information, whether it is by filling out the actual document or by means of an interview where all of these questions are asked, and I prefer the written because less record keeping, and the client kind of come back later on and say, oh, I didn't say this or I said that. So having it in written form is very important, I think. So I just want to look therefore then at the reason behind the questions that are asked and their relationship to the final copy. Okay, so here you have, please answer these questions as completely as possible. Your answers will guide me in providing you with the best sales copy to help your business increase the bottom line. All of the questions may not apply to your particular case, but just submit these questions. And for those that apply, please give careful and thoughtful answers. Remember, you are helping me to help you. And this here is so critical. In fact, if I present this questionnaire to a client and the client is not willing to fill out this questionnaire, I simply do not accept them as a client. Okay, so what I could say rather is that if I present it to a prospect and they say, well, I don't feel like filling this out, this is too much work, then I know that I cannot work with this particular prospect, because the more information that I have about whatever project that I'm doing, the more effective I can write the copy. Okay, and you'll find that for like, for example, Magalog copies written by top, A-list copywriters, oftentimes they do 3 months of research before they come up with the actual copy, and the copywriter has to go through tons and tons of information in order to find that particular hook, in order to find a particular angle to go from, in order to discover things that the product owner may have even overlooked. Okay, and many product owners are basically blind to a lot of the benefits of their products because they are too close, to the forest to see the trees. So the more information I can get in terms of from the client, then I'm better armed in order to write the copy. So any information that is required by the copywriter is only being used in order to make the copy even that more persuasive. Now, note if some of the answers of the question are not already on your website, please point me to the exact URL and section. I'll just copy and paste it in your answer. So what I require of the prospect here is that if, for example, this is not a new product, maybe they are looking for a rewrite for the copy, then I wouldn't really expect them to write from scratch again information that is already on the website, but I'll require that they either point me to that section on the website or simply do a copy and paste, and that will be good enough. Okay, now let's see look at the actual questions now. The first one, question number 1, what are the actual results and benefits that your product, results and benefits that you provide to your customer? Measurable results are always better than broad generalizations. For example, don't say we provide a great autoresponder service, but our customers receive an autoresponder account with unlimited follow-up messages, daily import limit of 20,000 leads, and so forth. So in other words, I ask them to spell it out. Give me all of the specifics about the service in terms of the results and the benefits that they are going to provide. Now, you're going to see some questions later on that would appear as though they are requiring the same information, but they are not really requiring the same information. but asking the product owner to actually think about things that they may not have thought about before. So the questionnaire actually helps the product owner as well as help the copywriter. Okay, so it asks to spell out, give all details. So this is important because oftentimes the client might see something as not being important, whereas for the copywriter, this is very, very important. Okay, next. Summarize in just a few short sentences what you offer, about your offer. Forget about your business and talk about your product or service. 2 short sentences will do. Now, this is where you are getting the product owner to say what they sell. Not to advertise to you, not to go into any big detail. Okay, we sell a pop-up creator. Okay, of course, they're going to seem bland and boring because of all these wonderful features this new pop-up creator has, but that's the bottom line. Okay, and the whole essence of this question is that you must be able to zero in as a copywriter on the actual product that is being sold. Okay, not with all the frills and icing on the cake and so forth. You just want the substance of what is being sold. And I've been to many websites where I've read through the copy, and at the end of the copy, I cannot even determine what is actually being sold. So if I understand what is being sold at the outset, then I'm better armed in order to write the copy in order to sell that particular product. Okay, number 3, if you already have customer testimonials, please include them here. Know that testimonials, the best testimonials are written in the actual word of the customer, even with the bad spelling, contain specific results that are promising, that you are promising from the product or service. For example, I have 7.5 pounds. I've lost 7.5 pounds in 1 week. Has as much detail about the customer as possible. You know, Joe Smith from Bronx, New York, possibly the web address, their position in the company, from an authority figure. So all of these are very important elements of testimonials. And I've seen many testimonials on website that is not really worth the paper that they are written on, because they do not say much. Okay, there are a lot of people who talk about everything else except the results that the product is promising. Oh, I really love the book, the color choice, and I love this book, and you know, this person has been in business for a long time. Everything else except what the product actually promises. Okay, so not much more detail that can go in here, but except that here we have a very good description of what a powerful testimonial would look like. Okay, question 4. What differentiates your product from all the other competitors in your field? Be sure to include aspects such as how you package, deliver, and service the product. These are the aspects that allow you to stand out in the field. Also list the website URLs of your top 3 competitors. Now, what is this asking for is is trying to get the product owner, the prospect, to know what separates them from their competitors. And if you're asking them to list the URLs of their top competitors, then you know how you have to write in order for their product to stand out from these competitors. Okay, and you are hoping that it is not like a Me Too product where they're just basically copying from some other product, or some swiping some other idea from some other product. But even if they are, you know, introducing a similar product into the marketplace, at least you are hoping that there would be some aspect of their product that is different to all the others. Otherwise, I mean, why would your product, what's the purpose of your product if it's not different from, you know, from everybody else's product? Okay, why just have a Me Too product? Okay, and so this would be important for the copywriter to understand as well too, because part of the copy involves showing how your product differentiates from your competition, and therefore why you should select this one instead of your competition. Okay, next, question 5. It is a known fact that in selling, benefits are what count, not just features. For example, a feature list could be cream-colored 19-inch viewable screen, rugged design, auto power shut off, while a benefit would be it matches your present office desk color, easy on the eyes, resistant to day-to-day use and abuse. Okay, and you're hoping that the client will be able to know the difference between a feature and a product, and able to list 7 of the most striking features of your product. Now, it is from these lists that the copywriter is going to mine most of the times the bullet points. Okay, so it is from this list that the copywriter would often get his top bullet points. Okay, and the toughest part I've found for clients to fill out is the benefits. The author can tell you what the features are, but oftentimes they are shaky on the benefits, and so maybe you have to drill down in order to find out more and more about the benefits. And most of the times, you yourself as a copywriter would have to see what these what these benefits are as you study the literature. Okay, but there are many clients who often do not know the difference between a feature and benefits. Okay, note if you offer if your offer includes more than one product or service, you may want to tell me about which is your main one and which is the hottest seller. And this is the case, where you have e-commerce sites and so forth, where it's important to know what the top seller is, so you know which which product you're going to emphasize. Okay, question number 6. Sometimes the story behind a discovery or invention of a product can be used as a lead-in for the sales letter. If you think you have such an interesting story, tell me. And what is important here is that stories are very good attention getters. So oftentimes the entire sales letter can be based around one particular story. And so there's an interesting story that involves the discovery of this product or the development of the product and so forth. This is often helpful and useful to be used in the copy itself. Okay, next section is tell me about your customer now. Now, can you describe your ideal customer, your customer avatar, include the age, the sex, where they live, typical interest, personality type. In other words, the more you know about your customer, the better you can, write for those. And that is where the product owner should really excel in telling you, as much as they can about their customer. Now, there are many product owners who do not survey their customers or do not survey their prospects, and maybe they cannot tell you much about the prospect, and this maybe prompt them to actually dig a little deeper to find out, look at those persons who are buying from you. Do you find that it's most men or most women? What's the age range and so forth? And this would help in targeting the copy. Okay, number 9. Are there some misconceptions that you notice customers having about your product or service? List them here. Be sure to include those things that you have attempted to explain but the customer don't seem to get. And what this does here is that if there is some aspect of your product that customers don't get, normally this is going to be an objection to actually buying your product, because people are not likely to buy something that they don't understand how it works and they don't understand what it is for. And so if you find therefore there's something that some aspect of your product that causes prospects to ask a question over and over again, then you know that this is something that the copywriter has to pay special attention to in order to explain. Okay. Now, do you have a frequently asked question file for your service? Which questions do you get asked mostly often, and why do you suppose this is so? Again, this is very much similar to the one that went before. And frequently asked questions, I see them as being objections to getting your product. Okay, if this is a question that comes up over and over and over again, and instead of having a frequently asked section of the sales letter, I prefer as a copywriter to work in those frequently asked questions into the copy itself, because if after I've written copy for a product and there are questions that I left unanswered, I look at myself as having failed in my job. Any question a prospect may have at the end of the sales copy mean that there's something that I left out in explaining and in selling the copy. Okay, so except your product is very, very technical, I really do not believe in having a FAQ section on a website. Okay, now what special needs do you see your product or service satisfying for the customer. Why would they want to try your product, and how do they normally find your website? Example, through search engines, offline ads, email campaigns. In other words, where does the typical customer come from? Now, this is a really loaded question because it has different aspects to it. And you may even think that, well, I've really asked this question already in saying what benefits, question number one, what benefits you provide to your customer. But oftentimes, when you ask the same question, just like on surveys, when you ask the same question in a different way, sometimes you get two completely different answers. Okay? So sometimes you have to ask the question even more than once in order to get at, what you're really after. Okay? And you're asking the prospect to provide, what special needs they think that their product is satisfying, what problem in the marketplace is their product, satisfying, and why would people want to buy your product? Because you'll be surprised to know that there are people who have written books, and at the end of writing the book, in fact, I saw a post not too long ago where this lady had spent 3 years writing this book, and it was made up of over 230 pages, and then she found out that not even her family members wanted to read the book. So the question is here, make sure that when you're creating a product, make sure that you're satisfying some need or solving some problem for the for the customer. So you don't want to say let's build it and see if they would come. You want to make sure that people are willing to come before you start building it. Okay, so this is a very important question, and also to find out where their clients are coming from, because depending on the source of those traffic, then your copy would have to tailor itself to that particular traffic source. Now, what do you hope to accomplish from your sales letter? In other words, what do you want the prospect to do? To subscribe to a newsletter, download a free ebook, complete a form, make a purchase, be specific as possible. And of course, this has to do with your call to action. This is what you're going to be asking the prospect who reads your sales letter to do. So it is very important for the copywriter to know from the outset what you want this person to do, because how you write your copy is going to be determined by what you're hoping to accomplish. Okay, so if you're hoping for to get someone to subscribe to a newsletter or download a free ebook, it will be very different to if you're trying to convince someone to to make a purchase, and so you got to be what you want to accomplish. Okay, please provide me with a full customer experience. In other words, if you're selling a software, I need to use a software membership site. Give me temporary access, lead me step by step through the process of making the purchase, so you deliver the product, ship or distance. Okay, and basically what I'm asking for here is I want to go through the same process that the customer would go through. In doing this, I'm going to find out if there's any hiccups along the way, if there are any hurdles along the way, if there is something that I need to inform the prospect about. Okay, something that is maybe unexpected, and in going through the process, I can therefore know what to tell the prospect to expect after they click here. So after they click here, I can let them know they'll be taken to a download page where they have to input their name, their username, and and password, and they'll be able to download in PDF and so forth. Okay, so it's important in that respect. Okay, please provide me with all the present company marketing materials that you have used, including brochure, emails, ads, and so forth. Now here, this becomes very important in terms of your research as well too, because if I know what you've already used and the results that you've got from those materials, then it puts me in a better position to write winning copy for you, rather than for me to try some method that you have tried before and you have already found out, well, it failed. Now maybe the marketing material that you have didn't work because maybe just one aspect of it needed to be changed. But it is important to know, just like how you're going to know, it's important to know your competition and what your competition is doing, and how your competitors are advertising, what they're saying in the advertising marketing material. It is important to know what has been tried before, so that you do not try to, to make the stone all over again, to reinvent the wheel. Now, what are the special incentives such as bonuses, extras, time limited, quantity limited offers that you make to the customer? Any method that will show scarcity or special advantages would be included here. And what this does is that bonuses are very good incentives to get someone over the line. Anything that is extra, if it is time limited or quantity limited, then after the builds in scarcity. And all of these are basically different strategies that you're using in order to push people over, push people over the line. So if any of these apply, then I will need to know. Okay, give me a quick resume about yourself that would lend credibility to the product or service. Now, people, except you are selling from a big company, face or front, people like to know a little about who they're buying from. It has to do with credibility, it has to do with trust, it has to do with liking and so forth. And so if I know a little about who is making the offer, then after that I can work something about that person into the copy that would be helpful in developing empathy, developing liking, developing the human side, of that person that would appeal to the client in order to make the purchase. Okay, so of course, if you are selling a health product, it would be good to know that you are an MD. If you're selling a mechanical tool, it'll be good to know that you're an engineer, or and so forth. Okay, in which areas have you been most successful so far in your marketing efforts, and in which areas you think you have had the least success? Again, you like to know a little history of the marketing results that this person is getting, the client is getting, so you know what has been working in the past, so you know what to avoid and what to what to use, or what needs improvement and what has been doing what have been doing well so far. Okay, 20. What do you require from me? A critique, a rewrite from scratch, reviewing and polishing your present copy, provide internet marketing consultation, and so be specific here. And here this is one point where you want to be clear about what the person expects of you to do, because you don't want to go and write something from scratch and they say, oh no, I didn't expect you to write it from scratch. I expect you to just do some correction, or I expect you to do some tweaking, or so it's important to know that what you're being paid to do, so that you do not under-deliver in that case. Okay, now, have you been recording your conversion rate? How many sales, subscription, downloads, and visitors are presently making with your current, web copy? Where did the majority of these visitors come from? Email campaign, joint venture. So, you like to know how well the person has been doing thus far. And after hearing this, you might think, okay, well, I don't think, what you're doing is quite well, because there are some people who might be getting, for example, 3% conversion. And they come and say, oh, I would like to hire you as a copywriter because I think I get 5% conversion. And when you look at the marketing material, you say, oh, well, this is not bad. And I don't think I could really improve on this, what you're getting right now. Okay, so if someone says, oh, right now I'm getting 3% conversion and I want to bring it up to 5, and you don't think that you can bring it up to 5, well, the honest and wise thing to do would be say, I'm sorry, but I don't think that I'll be able to beat what you have right now, beat your control right now. Okay, rather than to write, new copy for this person under a false expectation. Okay, and of course, if you know where these visitors are coming from, that would help you to make a clear judgment. For example, if the person is doing 5% conversion and you realize the majority of the traffic is coming from affiliate websites, then well, they have already done their launch, all the affiliate webs, the recommendations have already gone. Now their traffic is going to be coming from pay-per-click or organic search, and there's no way that you're going to beat conversion from cold traffic compared to warm traffic. Okay, so it helps you to be able to set a goal that is reachable and not build false expectation. 22, please give me the website URL of your present sales copy and specify the pages you need help with. And this is quite clear. If the person already has a website and already has copy up, then of course I'll want to see that copy, and they tell me specifically what areas they need help with. 23, what do you hope to accomplish within practical reasons with my help? For example, you may want to improve your sales from 25,000 per month to 75,000 per month. And at this point, here is where you kind of look out for a warning bell. If the person is saying, well, I'm expecting to get, 20% conversion with your help, and that's not practical, then right away, you can tell the person right away, okay, what you're requiring of me, I don't think that is reachable or quite practical, and therefore, I don't think that, I think you should either lower your conversion expectation or maybe find another copywriter. Now, if you'd like me to write additional reports on ebook to use a lead generator for your main product, please include the subject and details here. And this is in the case of where I provide marketing packages where the person might need a free report to give away as a tripwire or incentive to sign up for their list, and so they would indicate that here. And here I'll ask for the best way in which to contact that person. One of the most troubling aspects of writing copy for me is while I'm going through the process of writing copy, I'm writing, and in the flow, I'm in the mood, things are going well, and then I realize that there's some piece of information that I didn't get. And now I have to stop from my flow and my momentum of writing and try to get in touch with the client to find out this extra bit of information. And if I cannot get in touch with them right away, it means that I would have wasted maybe an hour, maybe hours or days, because I cannot go on because I don't have this particular information. So means knowing how best way to reach the client becomes important here, and make sure that they're reachable. Okay, can you provide me with the URL for the most popular forums where target audience frequents, and where target audience frequents, and for example, if the product is related to gardening, it may be a popular gardening forum. Okay, here again, you're talking about your research, and you want to be able to go where your prospects that you're targeting go, to learn the language that they speak, the way in which they term things, which can be very different from you as a third party, would coin or form your words. So what you're doing here is that you want to try to find out as much about the prospect as possible, and even many times use their own words and use their own expressions back to them, so that they can feel as though you are a part of the crowd, you are the in-group. They can empathize, with your situation, because how you write, you would indicate that you understand them. Okay, so this becomes very, very important. Okay, now I've seen some client questionnaire that may contain a lot more question than this. I've also seen some client questionnaire that contains maybe a lot less than this. But as I said, this is a questionnaire that I've been using for many years now. It serves me well. Once I have this filled out by the client, I know this will be the start, not my total research, but this will be the start of my research, and it would help me to crystallize a message that is direct and persuasive, and trying to accomplish just what the client expects of the copy that I'm writing for